Under Montana's serene mountains, a hidden war was waged, not with bullets but with fear. Under Montana's serene mountains, a hidden war was waged, not with bullets or bombs but with fear. A fear cultivated by one woman, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, whose visions of apocalypse led thousands to build an underground refuge, preparing for a nuclear winter that never came. Yet the echoes of her prophecies linger, a chilling testament to the power of belief. Elizabeth Clare Prophet, born Elizabeth Clare Wolfe, began her journey in the spiritual landscape of the 1950s. She wasn't just another charismatic speaker. She claimed direct communication with ascended masters, ancient spiritual beings guiding humanity. This core belief, that she was a messenger, would eventually underpin an entire movement. Her early life gave little indication of the path she would forge. A bright, inquisitive mind, yes, but it was her encounter with Mark L. Prophet, a spiritual leader of the Summit Lighthouse, that set her destiny. He recognized in her a unique spiritual sensitivity, a vessel for divine messages. Upon Mark Prophet's death in 1973, Elizabeth stepped fully into leadership. She didn't just inherit a movement, she transformed it. The Summit Lighthouse evolved into the Church Universal and Triumphant, or CUT. Its teachings, a blend of Eastern mysticism, New Age spirituality, and Christian eschatology, promised enlightenment and salvation. At the heart of CUT's doctrine was the concept of the violet flame, a spiritual energy capable of purifying karma and accelerating spiritual evolution. Members would engage in decreeing, rhythmic chants, and prayers, invoking this flame, believing it brought them closer to their ascended masters. It was a practice both hypnotic and deeply personal. But a darker undercurrent began to emerge. Prophet's prophecies, initially focused on spiritual growth, shifted. The world, she warned, was hurtling towards a catastrophic end. A nuclear holocaust, a planetary cleansing, was imminent. She wasn't just predicting, she was preparing. Her pronouncements grew increasingly specific. The late 1980s, she declared, would bring the ultimate test. Followers were urged, then instructed, to relocate to the secluded, vast lands of Montana. Here, amidst the rugged wilderness, they would build their sanctuary, their last stand. The Church Universal and Triumphant purchased thousands of acres near Corwin Springs, Montana, bordering Yellowstone National Park. It was a stunning, remote location, perfect for a community seeking isolation. But this isolation would soon breed something more profound: survivalism. The mandate was clear: prepare for nuclear winter. Thousands of loyal followers poured their life savings, their time, and their labor into building an elaborate network of underground bunkers. These weren't crude shelters. They were designed to be self-sufficient, capable of sustaining life for months, even years. Imagine a sound, a constant low thrum just at the edge of hearing. The hum of generators, the clanking of tools, echoing across the Montana landscape as hundreds worked ceaselessly. They weren't just building structures, they were building hope and fear into concrete and steel. The Doomsday date loomed large: March 15, 1990. Prophet's followers stockpiled food, water purification systems, medical supplies, and even weapons. They were convinced the Soviet Union would launch a first strike, and they, the faithful, would be the inheritors of a new world. The external world watched with a mixture of alarm and fascination. Local Montanans were wary of the influx, the secrecy, and the sheer scale of the preparations. Federal authorities, particularly the ATF, grew concerned about the weapons caches and the potential for a Waco-like standoff. As the deadline approached, the tension became palpable. Media outlets descended on Corwin Springs. The world held its breath, wondering if Elizabeth Clare Prophet's dire predictions would come true. Would March 15th mark the end of civilization as we knew it? March 15, 1990 arrived, and then it passed. The world did not end. There was no nuclear attack. The sun rose over the Montana mountains, just as it always had, illuminating a landscape still scarred by the frantic preparations, but otherwise unchanged. The aftermath was complex. For many, it was a profound crisis of faith. Years of sacrifice, of intense belief, had culminated in nothing. Some left the church, disillusioned and financially ruined. Others, however, doubled down, rationalizing the non-event as a divine intervention, a test of their faith. Prophet offered explanations. She claimed the collective prayers and decrees of her followers had averted the catastrophe. Their faith, she asserted, had literally saved the world. It was a powerful narrative, one that allowed many to reconcile the failed prophecy with their enduring belief in her leadership. But the Church Universal and Triumphant never fully recovered its pre-1990 momentum. The incident left an indelible mark, attracting scrutiny and skepticism. Membership dwindled, and the grand vision of a global spiritual transformation began to shrink. Elizabeth Clare Prophet's health also began to decline. In 1996, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Her ability to lead, to channel the ascended masters, slowly faded. The voice that had captivated thousands, that had warned of apocalypse, became silent. She officially retired from public life in 1999 and passed away in 2009. The Church Universal and Triumphant continued, but without its charismatic founder, its identity shifted. The focus moved away from doomsday predictions and towards more traditional spiritual teachings, albeit still rooted in Prophet's original framework. Today, the Montana property still exists, though many of the bunkers have been repurposed or left to decay. The visible remnants serve as silent monuments to a singular moment in history, a time when belief in an impending apocalypse drove thousands to prepare for an unseen war. The story of Elizabeth Clare Prophet and the Church Universal and Triumphant isn't merely about a failed prophecy. It's a profound look into the human need for meaning, for belonging, and for answers in an uncertain world. It illustrates how easily hope can intertwine with fear, leading individuals down paths they might never have imagined. It's a cautionary tale about the immense power of charismatic leadership, the psychological impact of impending doom, and the fine line between spiritual devotion and destructive delusion. The Montana bunkers stand, not as a testament to salvation, but to the enduring, complex nature of faith itself. What other hidden communities have shaped our history in unexpected ways?